I am doing a version of Hamburger Helper Stroganoff, Ground Beef Stroganoff, however you want to call it here in the States. It's very popular. In this pan, I have got some ground beef that I'm browning off, and then I've also got probably about 6 ounces of just this egg pasta that looks like lasagna noodles. That's the one that's on the package of the Hamburger Helper, so you can use that. You can use elbow macaroni. You can use bow tie macaroni. There's some really cool just pasta out there. Just some homemade, even like the home style egg noodles or just egg noodles you can go ahead and use. So go ahead and look at that. I've also got 3 cups of beef bouillon, half an onion, about a cup of sliced mushrooms, and again my seasoning that I'm seasoning throughout. I've already seasoned my ground beef here. So as soon as that gets browned off, we'll go ahead and add the mushrooms and onions, and then we'll add the beef bouillon, and then at the very end we'll got some sour cream here that we'll add to the very end just to finish it off. Basically a ground off where I want it to be. So I did like that is kind of like a lean ground beef that I am doing there. So it's not throwing off too much fat, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep that fat in there instead of draining it off. I think we're good there. I'm just going to finish up dicing this onion, and we're going to add the onion here to and the mushrooms to the ground beef here. We'll get that going, and again we're going to layer our seasoning. This is my all-purpose seasoning here that we're going to add equal amounts of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and half of the amount of pepper. So we'll get that going in there as we go here. Give this a quick stir, let some of these mushrooms and onions get translucent and a little bit tender. Once I add the pasta to this, okay everybody, here I've got my ground beef, my onions and my mushrooms. My mushrooms are about where they want. I still want a little bit of texture on the mushrooms. And then also too, I still have a little bit of extra beef fat that come off the lean ground beef. So I'm just going to add probably just about a tablespoon, maybe not quite a tablespoon, maybe 2 teaspoons of flour, just to absorb that oil so I don't get an oil slick here. That will also help thicken up the beef bouillon along with the starches from the pasta. So we basically got the oil absorbed with the flour that we're going to cook here. Just give it a little bit of cooking flavor here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my beef bouillon here. It is about 3 cups. I'll keep an eye on it depending on how saucy you want this and everything else. But 3 cups with about 6 ounces of pasta here that we're just going to add, and then we'll stir that in, and then we'll give this a little bit of a heat here. So there you have it. It's the dry pasta, beef bouillon, a little bit of flour. I'm scraping off a little bit of that fond off the bottom of the pan to get this going. I'm going to turn this down to a low heat or a simmer. I just want this to boil, and we're going to do this about 15 minutes. Cover it. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe as we cover this, and then we'll be back in a little bit once it's done. We'll pull some garlic bread out of the oven, and then maybe even a salad that I'll serve up with it a little bit. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and this will take just as all we're doing now is cooking the pasta. Now it'll take about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, hi everybody, welcome back. It's been about 10 minutes. You can see how well this is like thickened up and everything else. Now at this stage, if you want just kind of like more or less the traditional stroganoff, the nice thing about this is you're doing it yourself. You can add ingredients how you want. You can add the ingredients how you want and all that other stuff. At this stage, if you just want the traditional, just go ahead and add a little bit of sour cream to it. Get that stirred in off heat. If you use crema, you don't have to worry about stirring off heat. Crema doesn't curdle as much as like a sour cream would and everything else. But I love cheese. I'm a cheese freak, so I'm going to add just a little bit of provolone that I had in the fridge. I'll get that stirred up, and the cheese will even thicken this up a little bit, turn it into a little bit of a cheesy sauce more than anything. And then once this gets melted in a little bit, I'm going to add the, I'm going to turn this off, going to add the sour cream and the, matter of fact, I'm going to turn it off now. There's enough heat that's melting that cheese. So we'll get this stirred in. So now that the heat is off and everything else, you're okay to add the sour cream. I'm going to add just a couple of tablespoons of sour cream just to give it a little bit of the tang that everybody likes in stroganoff. And as you can see, that creamed it up really super good. I don't know whether you can see it or not. Hopefully I've got my camera adjusted right and everything else. And then at the very end here, we're going to add the parsley and get that stirred in. As you go, always check and season. I'm not a big fan of seasoning at the tables, but you do have your people that like that type of aspect and everything else. Now you can see that this is like nice and cheesy and a good consistency. I did do a tossed salad here, and then as you can see in front, maybe not see in front, but I also did my garlic bread. I will put that recipe on here. Basically, that's a ½ cup of butter, 2 cloves of garlic, and a ¼ cup of mayonnaise. And unlike the traditional garlic bread that you slice down in half, get it nice and toasty, I grew up, my parents always sliced it. And so here you go. It's a little bit different this way. It doesn't give you the crunchy texture, but trust me, this is the way, this is comfort, this is home. So here's some garlic bread that I'm setting aside here. We'll go ahead and serve this. I'm just going to hurry up and quickly taste, make sure we don't need no seasonings. You know, as usual, kind of really spot on. Maybe a little bit more pepper. I do like my pepper, especially like in stroganoff and creamy stuff. Another thing that you can do, because we've added the sour cream and all that, you might want to add a little bit of hint of nutmeg. I usually don't do that. But here again, you can see that it's nice and cheesy. Excuse me. Okay, so here is it all dished up. And again, this is a great family. You can stretch it out. You can add more noodles, less noodles, and you see the consistency, nice and soft. You can serve it with, again, I'm serving it with garlic bread, a little bit of a green salad, and this is a great dinner. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get this channel going.